Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the Honorable Judge Mata Ratas.
Thank you all for being here today. I would like for everybody to go ahead and get seated as I introduce both the accused and the accuser. For those that are unfamiliar with FWWC Wrestler Court, it's pretty simple, friends. There's a case brought, there's a case defended. After some litigation, we tried to do what is best to uphold the honor and integrity of the world's premier fantasy wrestling promotion, the FWWC. In case this is your first time seeing me, number one, are you sleeping under a freaking rock? And secondly, El Mata has been, let's just say, a bit absent as of late, dealing with other highly sensitive and important matters. But whenever it comes to doling out justice, there's no one better in the history of the FWWC than the guy that swings the biggest mallet, the biggest hammer of all, the greatest campeon in the history of the FWWC, the one and only Judge Mata Ratas. Without further ado, I will first introduce our accuser, the proposed victim in this happenstance. He is a former multi-time champion, including several stints as a top champion here in the FWWC. Most recently held the Warriors Heart Championship, where he was defeated by his longtime frenemy, Gabriel Arsene. This man is also known as a women's man. Just reading the description, guys. Don't judge el jefe. He is also known as a woman's man and is renowned multiple feature films and rubs elbows with some of the most beautiful and famous people on the face of the planet. Ladies and gentlemen, a man referred to you and myself as the International Moby.
Hello.
Moby, before we get into the proceeds this evening, as Jay-Z would say, how the heck are you feeling, man? You don't look too great.
I'm not doing well. I'll be honest with you. I've seen better days.
I see you got your medicine, your protein powder, your C4 back there. For all involved here, regardless of the outcome of this case, we do wish you a very, very speedy recovery. We'll bring you back in just a moment. Thank you. All right, gentlemen and ladies. Up next is a man that I've had the opportunity to share the ring with on multiple times as a singles competitor and also in tag team action. A guy that many people would esteem is on that next list of wave for FWWC Hall of Famers. Probably and well known as one of the most illustrious UXT champions of all time. Probably and well recognized as one of the greatest tag team champions in FWWC history. Also respected and acknowledged as one of the hardest working individuals in FWWC history. Also acknowledged as a man who helped create the Saviors of Funk. Also acknowledged as a man who is a core element to the success of the faction now known as NFG. Also a man who is well respected as a former Warriors Heart champion and now your current reigning and potentially defending after this evening, the one and only, the defendant, Mr. Higher and Higher himself, the one and only, El Señor Savior Saint.
Judge Mata, I ain't had to do this yet, man. It's a pleasure
to be here, but it's a terrifying thing because the accusation against me, I mean, I don't know. We'll get into it in a little bit, but you've seen my face. It's like, I ain't too worried about defending this championship, but defending this, I mean, there was cameras and this and that, so we'll see what we can do here. I have to pull a rabbit out of a hat on this one.
Well, if the truth is on your side, you won't have to. But the allegations levied against you are very, very serious. Before we get into the case itself, let me ask you this. This is the first time in FWWC Wrestler Court history that we have a reigning, defending top champion in court. And things have not gone well for folks after these court dates. So there's a chance you could potentially be stripped of your title. There's a chance you could be kicked out of the group and suspended for an extended period of time. There's a chance that past, accomplishments could be revoked from the record. I mean, you heard me go through your accomplishment list, and it's lengthy. And when you put this much time in, how many years have you been here again?
Going on 8.
After 8 years of hard work, it's scary to think that based on an allegation up to this point, which we'll hope to prove or disprove during this litigation, that some of it, if not all of it, could be taken away from you. How does that make you feel?
Nervous. Very nervous. It's like there ain't many things in your life that you don't have control of, like when your child's sick or a situation like this where it's up in the Lord's hands or Judge Mata's hands, and you just have to hope and pray that the truth will set me free. And I do believe that. We'll see. But as I've seen in these, it's a turn of events can happen and things can happen. And throughout history in our great country, America, motherfucker, no disrespect, people have been innocent and they've been guilty, found guilty. So we shall see.
The only thing I'm going to ask you, and I appreciate your sentiments, I am going to ask you, this is a courtroom. So we're going to ask to keep the profanity to a minimum, if possible, please. I appreciate your passion, though. I really do. So we'll bring both the defendant and the accuser in here so we can get down to business. Gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to stay to your side of the courtroom. I know there's a lot of passion. There's a lot of anger and frustration revolving this situation. And here's what I'm trying to accomplish here today. Number one, uphold the integrity of the FWWC as the world's premier. And number two, I'm going to try to salvage what could be one of the biggest matches in Survivor Series history. There is a chance that depending on the results of this case, that the match may never happen. So I hope you gentlemen came prepared. The one and most important question I have for you is this. It's a two-parter. Number one, just give me the thumbs up. Do you both give us your word to tell and share the truth with us to the best of your ability? Just give me a thumbs up as a confirmation. Okay, number one. Part two, do you both commit to adhering to the decision of this courtroom? No matter what it is, whether it benefits you or not, whatever the decision of this courtroom is by the end of this session, you will honor and respect it, or otherwise be gone for a long, long time. I need a thumbs up. Need to see the thumb, okay? Somebody's taking a screenshot. That's what people do online these days. All right, folks. We know what you're here for, so let's go ahead. This is my favorite part of it all. Sorry, guys. Got to get the swing in. Court is now in session. Because, Mr. Lay, you brought the charges towards the defendant, you will have your opportunity in just a moment to make your opening argument. But before we do that, let me lay out the allegations. So tonight, for case 0006, we have Moby Lay versus Savior Saint. The charges being brought this evening by Moby Lay is that he is suing Savior Saint for breaking into his property, attacking him, injuring him, and causing him untold amounts of money due to said injury, and if we're being honest, potentially even one of the biggest matches in his career, with the potential opportunity to challenge for the FWWC World Championship on the line. The compensation requested by Mr. Moby, if things should go in his favor, a championship match would have not a champion's advantage, but a contender's advantage. The match choice, that means he would get to pick the stipulations. And if he happens to lose, that the loss would be stricken for his record. Do you gentlemen both understand the charges being brought against defendant Saint?
Is it a thumbs up or we say it verbally?
Nod and give me a thumbs up. All right. Wonderful. So now, with the charges fully laid out, Mr. Moby, you've got 2.5 minutes to make your opening argument. The clock starts now.
Savior Saint, you are someone that I always looked up to since I first started in this group, wonderful FWWC. And although I was a rookie at the time when you were on top of the group, I've tried my best to reach higher and higher and higher, like you always say. And when I finally have not only a match against you, but for the top championship in this entire group, you tell me that it's on site. And you want to talk about if you did it. I have here the chair that you threw at me, that you took from my garage, smacking me in the arm and in the face, causing that injury. You want to talk about if you did it, if I'm telling the truth. There is actual video footage in my promo of you smacking me in the face with a chair, of you kicking dirt on my limp body as you taunt me and tell me that it's on site. If you truly wanted this championship match, want to go higher and higher, why do you try to injure me before my match? And a match, I might add, against your NFG brother, Daniel Grimm. He was on your side. He's in your team. You wanted to soften me up and hurt me so I lose to him, which is why I want that stricken, because I was literally attacked before that match. But because I care about this group, I want to still put on a show. I want to still be out here. I want to still show for the masses because I care about them. But because of that, I got hurt even more.
All right, Moby, with about 4 seconds to spare, your time is up. Savior Saint, you now have your opportunity to make your opening statement, and we'll clock you for 2.5 minutes. Please go ahead.
Actual proof. You have a weapon that is from your property. If I did this, I would have left it. I would not have left my weapon there. I would have taken my chair, and everybody knows the type of chair that I use, and that is not the type of chair I use, Moby. I got a vibranium chair from the King of Wakanda. That's a history lesson. You can look that up. That backs it up. That backs it up, Judge Mata. You know this. You know this. Throughout my history, there's been promos. You've never seen that chair that Moby just showed in that video. And then in the video that we can send you here shortly. Somebody get on that. What is it? Intern Timmy, we got him back here somewhere. Intern Timmy, shoot that video to El Jefe, Judge El Jefe. You don't see me in the video till afterward. You don't see me in the video till afterward. So all your evidence seems circumstantial. And everybody around here has watched Law and Order, SVU, or some sort of it. And they know circumstantial evidence does not get a guilty verdict unless we're dealing with a corrupt judge. And in this case, I do not believe that. That's a thumbs up to the Honorable Judge El Jefe El Mataratas. My defense is there's no clear evidence that I did this. We know that Moby is an actor, Hollywood, trained in millions and millions in different ways to edit videos. This almost seems like he is taking all the stuff that he does is from past shows or past movies. Well, this seems like something from Prison Break. I feel like Lincoln Burrows right now.
All right. Saint, I appreciate your insight and the anecdotal comparisons, I will say, are nice. And so are the compliments, but they're not going to get you very far in this courtroom. I respect it and I appreciate it, but here in this courtroom, it's all about respecting the integrity of the FWWC. Don't either of you forget it. Okay. Now with your opening statements out of the way, we do have the video that allows us and the audience to see exactly what it is that potentially led to Moby's injury. Now, I'm going to be sincere. I want you both to hold your comments because we need the audience to get the opportunity to see this, okay? So we're going to go ahead and throw it up, and we're going to play it just a couple of times, and want to let everybody in the jury to take a close look. In the meantime, feel free to deliberate with your defense teams as we get ready to cue it up. While the video cues up, I do want to take a moment and make a couple of quick announcements. We do have Survivor Series coming up this coming Saturday. I want to take a moment and thank everybody who is involved in the pay-per-view. If you give me a second, I'll look down at my notes here. Don't want to misspeak, so forgive me. Okay. First thing, remember, picks have a due time. I want to make sure I get this out there. Make sure that you're paying attention in the end of days chat for when those picks are due. We will be accepting no excuses from any individual onto why picks were not submitted on time. So I know that the folks in charge will be very grateful to hear me say this because we've had people lose championships over something like this. So let's get those picks in on time. Remember, get them submitted, do it early. And if there's a subject a change on the card, we'll let you know via that chat, and you will be given a little time to potentially update your pick if there's a match change or whatever. So for the moment, we have Sister Haas defending against Marcus Mayhem, the Intercontinental Championship. We also have Sick and Lecter challenging the one and only Ace for the Spartan's Heart Championship. And of course, we also have the one and only, the legendary Daniel Grimm challenging the aforementioned Gabriel Arsene for an opportunity at the prestigious Warriors Heart Championship. So I just want to give a lot of kudos to everybody involved, to the team who put together this card, but mainly the superstars who have really helped build these stories. I want to make sure I give you guys your flowers because they are absolutely deserved. On that note, we'll go ahead and play the video that has brought us here today. So we'll let you guys see it. Here we go, uninterrupted.
And it's the same thing that always happens when me and you go face to face. As far as Savior's Saint, what the?
I told you, Moby Lee. And now everybody in the FWWC knows that when I say it's on site, it's when I see you, you gonna get that smoke. And that's what happened. You seeing them Tweety birds tweeting? I'll be seeing you later tonight, Moby Lee. Real good look on that match tonight, boy.
Okay, we'll play that one more time for the jury.
And it's the same thing that always happens when me and you go face to face. As far as Savior's Saint, what the?
I told you, Moby Lee. And now everybody in the FWWC knows that when I say it's on site, it's when I see you,
You gonna get that smoke. And that's what happened. You seeing them Tweety birds tweeting. I'll be seeing you later tonight, Moby Lee. Real good look on that match tonight, boy.
Okay. And with that, we will bring back both the Hollywood actor Moby Lee and the defendant, Savior Saint. Now, gentlemen, based on that video, I, your Honorable Judge Mata, have a few questions, and I'm going to demand decorum here. Again, I know this is an emotional situation, potentially putting at jeopardy one of the biggest matches in Survivor Series history. Forgive me for saying it again, but gentlemen, this is about the audience. This is about the fans, and the fact that we're here just a couple of nights away, and we don't know if we have a match yet. This is scary stuff. Let's hear from the audience here. Oh, and I stand corrected. I did forget to mention, my apologies. We also do have Remy Ricks competing against Hardcore Hoss, the recently named longest reigning hardcore champ, and I think the longest reigning champ of any kind in FWWC history. Shame. My apologies. We're also hearing from Remy Ricks himself that Savior Saint is guilty. My goodness, who would have thought that an NFG brethren, weren't you guys a tag team, the Stoner Brothers or something like that at some point? Saying
he's trolling. He's trolling me.
Is he trolling? What, you guys were in a tag team previously, right?
Yes, sir. The Wild Boys.
What was the name of that tag team?
Wild Boys.
The Wild Boys. There you go, the Wild Boys. Absolutely insane. And listen, I can only take things at face value. The fact that your former teammate thinks you're guilty, that speaks volumes. I hate to say it. Let's see what we have a little bit more commentary. It says, if Moby is hurt, how can he compete? Listen, I think Moby said it himself. Moby, if you happen to walk out, kind of on the positive side of this, and you are awarded with your opportunity with stipulations, that is a great question. How do you plan to compete under your current circumstances?
The same way my best friend Cody Rhodes competed with a torn pec at Hell in a Cell versus Seth Rollins. Throughout this, and even this, as long as I can move, I can fight. And the only reason I want Contender's advantage is to kind of even the playing field on everything that has been done to me from your champion.
And before I move on to Saint, let me make sure I clear this up. So in your request, if you are able to win this, you're saying that you want the loss to be removed for your record. Are you talking about the loss that you took? Or if you happen to take the loss, if the match moves forward, you want that erased from your record? I want to make sure that I get that straight. If I lose,
I lose. I'm talking about the loss to Daniel Grimm.
That loss.
Because that loss, which I beat him every time we go against each other. But before that match, as you've seen, I was viciously attacked. I went into that match injured. And I don't feel it's fair to me that stay on the record books after what happened to me.
So you want the potential to have Contender's advantage, and you want to be able to pick the stipulation, and you want that loss to Daniel Grimm expunged from the record.
Yeah, it could have been worse. I could have just had him arrested, and he'd be in jail right now. But if we did that, we wouldn't be able to have a match. And I don't want to do that to the FWWC, the place I love.
Okay, well, on that note, Saint, I have to ask you this. A, how does it feel to have a fellow NFG brother, whether he's joking or not, say something like you're guilty? And then secondly, if you do happen to win, have you thought of what exactly your requests and demands are going to be if you come out on the positive side of this litigation?
As far as my brother Remy Ricks, I can't say the full thing, but it's no F's given. I got no F's to give. I know he's trolling. I know I'm innocent. The truth is going to set me free. Question number 2, I know exactly the match I'm going to pick whenever that hammer comes down and that verdict is read and Savior Saint is not guilty. Can I go a little bit now?
Go, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We were listening to Moby talk. One of his wants, as we just heard, you reiterated it multiple times there, is he wants that loss stricken from his record. In his statements he just made, the man said, and I quote from Moby Lay just about 2 minutes ago, as long as I can move, I can wrestle. As long as I can move, I can wrestle, from Moby Lee. Then why are we trying to stricken a loss from your record if you can move? Because you move your butt on down to that ring. You got up in that ring. You screamed in agony during that match, but you fought that match. You moved and you slid and you moved and you slid. And you wrestled and you lost. But as long as you can move, you can wrestle. But I'm going to take this loss off my record. It's hypocritical. It's hypocrisy. It's I got you. I got you. You can do all the editing you need. But when there's no script in front of you, Hollywood boy, you can't go. There ain't no script in front of me, and I go higher and higher. As long as you can move, you can wrestle.
Okay. Well, thank you for that, Saint. And I'm going to follow that up with a question of my own. And I want to thank all the audience for the participation. Thank you, FWC Universe. Thank you for supporting the FWWC Wrestler Court. I think streaming live right now on the Wrestle Talk Twitch channel. I believe it is streaming live from the board of directors member Night Owl's personal X page, and also on YouTube, which I believe we've shared that link to the FWWC page on Facebook. So thank you all for being here. Make sure you're subscribed to all these platforms, guys. A lot of what we're able to do is because of Wrestle Talk. Breaking news, by the way, once we get through the end of this year and the break is over, there's a good chance that we're going to be bringing back the FWWC tonight. So if you enjoy this sort of thing, you will absolutely enjoy the FWWC tonight, and we plan to bring it to you via video instead of just audio like in the past. So if you guys are excited about that, definitely make some noise in the comment section. Hopefully we get everybody lined up, and come the beginning of the year, we'll bring back the FWWC tonight, where we can discuss juicy topics just like this before the wrestle courts happen or what have you. But with that said, Saint, here's my question to you. I heard you allude to Moby and his video editing tricks. And we all know that Moby is a very, very talented artist in many, many ways, just like you're a very talented wrestler and one of the most creative people to ever step foot in the FWWC. Okay? But he may be able to CGI and AI the video. I'm curious about the audio. And if everybody wants, we can play it one more time because I think it's worth hearing it. Your words, they sound a lot like you, sir. And I'm no expert, but I know that replicating video and moving someone from one scene to another scene is possible, but to fully replicate the individual and their words to this level could be done only by a few people. And as much as I appreciate and respect Moby's talents, the court has not seen evidence yet of this level of AI and editing capability. Let's go ahead and play it one more time.
And it's the same thing that always happens when me and you go face to face. And as far as Savior's saying, what the?
I told you, Moby Lee. And now everybody in the FWWC knows that when I say it's on site, it's when I see you, you gonna get that smoke. And that's what happened. You seeing them Tweety birds?
So, Saint, do you care to explain the origin of the audio that we just heard?
The man's a magician. I will point out, though, that he's in shorts and a tank top, cut off sleeves. And then he's got me looking like a former promo that I did in my jacket and beanie with no glasses. I could probably find that promo throughout the history of me cutting that. As far as AI, I mean, I can send you stuff of SpongeBob and Squidward rapping some hardest lyrics you've ever heard in your life, and you think it's really them. So it's one of the first of its kind. It's a battle for freedom against, I guess, AI and hopefully realization you can see. It'd be different than all the other videos you've seen of me. I'm in that video during the attack. The very first video when I slammed Funky Flex's head in that car door, you saw me grab him, put him there, slam the car door, and talk. And as far as all these injuries, the man wrestles every week.
So let me be clear. Let me be clear. So you're saying that is you. Those are your words, but it was not in the context that Moby Lee is presenting it. Is that what you're saying? You're saying he ripped it from somewhere and inserted you. That's what I'm understanding that you say. Is that correct?
What it seems to be like, either that or an AI cover where you can pay and go and have them do it with your voice. All you do is take someone's voice and use it.
They are very talented at that. I'm not saying it's not possible. We have just not seen that level from this point. Moby Lee, I throw to you, and we'll come back to you, Saint, as we start nearing kind of the epicenter and the conclusion and get gearing towards final thoughts. I am very curious. What is your response? I mean, we've seen you pull out some pretty miraculous rabbits out of your hat over the years. A lot of people have given you a hard time even for being a magician, so to speak, with these things. And now you're being accused of weaponizing your skill, which has served you well in your career, to try to paint this man as guilty when he's really not. So my two-part question is simple. A, are you capable of creating this sort of quality to make it look like he was actually there? And if so, would you be nefarious enough to use it to try to get your way when it comes to this FWWC World Championship match at Survivor Series? Sir, the floor is yours.
At the beginning of this court case, Savior Saint and I both gave a thumbs up to, during this court case, be honest. We swore an oath. During this court case, I've said nothing but truth. I'm filled with disappointment. The fact that he not only threatened me in multiple promos, but the fact that he came to my house, attacked me, taunted me, kicked dirt on me, when it's time to man up and own to what he did and what he threatened to do, that he would lie in court in front of Judge Mata and say that he didn't. The Savior Saint I see in front of me right now is not the Savior Saint that I've watched as a rookie, not the Savior Saint that I climbed up this group to try to be like, to try to be on his level. I'm shocked and appalled because, like he said before, he's attacked people in the past and he's owned up to it. He talked about on site. He talks like he's big and bad, but when consequences for his actions come arise, he's acting like it didn't happen. When I attacked Gabrielle Arsene, I said I did. When he attacked me, he said he did. Why is this any different? Why are you lying? Is it because now there's consequences to your actions? So you feel like you can just break your oath?
Whoa. Moby. Listen, I know you're being subtle, but I'm going to ask you to address the court and not address Savior Saint directly unless you directly hear from me. You got it?
All right.
Please continue.
I would never edit someone to be something or somewhere they're not. Everything I do is completely legit. He wants to talk about Remy Rick, for example, saying he's just trolling. What you guys fail to realize is me and Remy, although we have our differences, we can work together. He was in a movie with me recently, Pulp Fiction. I don't know if you guys seen it. I shared that in the interview that we did. There are people in this group that I've worked with face to face that we have mutual respect for each other. And the respect that I thought my opponent has today is no longer there. And to call out my character like that is ridiculous. What I'm saying is the truth. I was attacked in my backyard. I was hurt. You've seen it yourself. You've seen the evidence. Everyone can see what happened.
Savior Saint, your rebuttal.
I mean, you're walking around doing all this stuff, and then you just throw this gear on, man. I don't know if you missed it or not. If you're going to use Remy Ricks against me, I'm going to use him for me. If you scroll back a couple, he just said what my thoughts were, but like a true gentleman, I let Moby finish. How's he going to be able to do this stuff? He just didn't have his gear on, this injury stuff on when he was shooting a movie that he talks about just a few days ago. He's good at manipulating cameras. He's good at manipulating in general. And as far as this goes, I've said most of what I can say about it. I've showed that you do not see me in the video visually attack this man. And I gave a thumbs up, and you know me not to be a liar. I've lost time here in the group by being truthful. I went toe-to-toe with the great one, El Jefe. I've went against the CEO because of my beliefs. If there's one thing that Savior Saint is not, it is a liar. I am not a liar. I am a bad man. I do beat ass. Pardon my French again. I do believe that I am big and bad. There is big and bad around here. I'm going up against a big bad, hopefully this weekend. But that doesn't mean that I go around and just do these and that and break the law all the time. I pay my dues. I've been in jail. I lost my time here. Parts of my career have taken away because choices I made, Moby. I am not a liar. You know what you did. You've slipped up this whole court case. This whole court. You've slipped up. Back and forth, back and forth. You can move, you can wrestle. But yet you're trying to get a loss stricken from your record. You walk around with the injury gear, but you just shot a movie. You're one of the best actors I've ever seen. And you will be a billionaire one day, but it is not going to be at the expense of me, my brother. No, sir.
And just shoot a movie. Movie I saw that you've seen footage of was before the attack. Don't try to manipulate the words.
This hearsay.
Hearsay. You can't go higher and higher and higher with a mouthful of lies.
Okay, gentlemen, and this is the port. I'm going to stop you right here. This is the portion that we haven't done before. And I'm going to ask you guys, be as passionate and enthused as you want, but remember, this is a courtroom. I will give you both a minute and a half to direct each other before we move into the final phase of this meeting. We'll go ahead and let the champ go first. Gentlemen, let's see those Wu-Tang swords.
The truth's going to set me free. You will be exposed. I'm not even going to get into it because I can't commit to keeping myself under control and the Honorable Judge El Jefe. But the truth is going to set me free. The match you will find out here in a little bit, and you will take an L. The truth will set me free. My pants ain't on fire, Moby Lee, so I ain't no liar.
That's not, your minute isn't up.
I'm good,
man. That's all you have to say because you know what you're saying is lying.
You're trying to get me kicked out of the courtroom.
Everything you're saying isn't true. You talk like you want to give me the smoke. You said on site. You kicked dirt on me. You hit me with a chair and said it's on site. Before that, you said it's on site. You're yelling. You're screaming. You're talking like you want to hurt me. Bad. But when you actually do it on camera, you acting like it didn't happen. You're acting calm now so people don't see that you're really a crash out. You're a thug. You're no good. You're unfit to be a champion of the FWWC.
I'm one of the most fit men to ever hold this championship here. I have respect, honor, and integrity that runs through my veins, and also a bad man inside. And it ain't Jonesy. It's me.
So bad
it's all
that
me.
your person
it's all my life.
You brought
Stop
in.
talking when I'm talking.
Your
I
promo.
give you the respect. You talk about being fit. I let you talk. You let me talk. You wanted a little bit of passion.
Fine,
you
go ahead.
I want it. When the truth is exposed, you better hope all these bailiffs come around because I'm going to come and take that and see him punk your ass just like he did Drew McIntyre, boy. I told you I'm getting fired up. I'm done. I'm not going to let you
get fired up. I
want
you to get fired up. Let me ask you this. One question. Because I pay attention to everything. I watch everything. At the end of your promo, you got someone to help you with your defense. Where is he?
Oh,
Did your
where
own
is he?
lawyer leave you behind?
You know you had something to do with that.
He knew that you're lying. He knew it was a lost cause. Your own people are turning their back on you because they know you can't be trusted. Who am I looking at right now? Because who I'm looking at right now was not the person I looked up to all of these years. I looked up to having a match with the great Savior Saint. When I hosted the FWWC tonight with Gabrielle Arsene when I was a champion and I talked to you, I was excited. I was congratulating you on being the ruler of the ring. I even took a snapshot and posted it on my Instagram that I got to take a picture and interview the ruler of the ring, Savior Saint. But the person I'm looking at right now is not the person I've looked up to for all these years.
You've never seen me in court. You did all this. You wanted a match. You had your match. I gave it to you just like a respect, honorable, integrable champion would do. I told you a long time ago the same thing you told me. You lost your belt, and I kept my word and gave you a shot at glory. Now you're trying to sue me? You're AI editing all this trying to sue me. You're going to get your match when the truth sets me free, and you find out here in a bit.
We're going to have a match regardless. Because like I said before, if I can move, I can wrestle.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. And I did want to give you a little extra time because there are elements of the world's premier fantasy wrestling promotion that people don't quite understand. They don't really see why we take this so serious. They don't really know why El Mata takes so long to bring out the big hammer. Because when you lace them up, it goes beyond the ring. It gets personal. Take it from me, a man that has been pissed on in this company. I've been jumped and left on the side of the road bleeding like the dirty, stinking ratas that I despise. And I can tell you guys from prior experience that when the greatest prize in this company is on the line, I've heard many a great champion say, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And I'm speaking from the heart here, so forgive me. But Saint, you know that you've been doing this for a long time. But it's also been a very long time since you've been at the top. And you've gotten this close over and over and over. And personally speaking, I know I've done some pretty dastardly things to stay on top. So you'll have to forgive me if I'm not swayed by, I'm an honest man, I'm a dude of integrity, because you're the guy that I remember that swore to never, ever cross the line and work with members of La Familia worldwide. And many people may have forgotten, but one thing you can bet your ass off, that Judge Mata never forgets. And the fact that you and a few others have decided to put those promises aside and join forces tells me one thing. Anything is possible. Not saying if it was a good or a bad decision. That's not up to me. The destiny of the FWWC will decide that. But again, you'll have to forgive me if I'm not swayed by, look at my history, look at my background. We've seen how many times you and Funky Flex have turned on each other. And Funky Flex, as far as I could see, was going to be your attorney here tonight. But yet, he never came. So forgive me if I get a little emotional after I hear people that I respect get a little emotional. But what you're not going to do, and this goes for both of you, is convince me that you're a good guy and that's why you should win this case. Because I care about this place too damn much to allow feelings to dictate this important decision. And it's also not lost on me, Moby, that you and I have a bit of a history. And things between us haven't always been peachy. And I remember well some of the things that you've said and done. Because behind the veil of respect is a man who has turned on his best friend time after time after time. I sat on the front row as you abused and drug my protege through the mud physically, emotionally, and spiritually. You see, everybody knows that I got a soft heart for a couple of guys in this group. I was just talking to one of them, my hermanito, Savior Saint. And many people know that I have a similar sentiment for your Warriors Heart champion, Gabriel Arsen. So don't think because I haven't been in front of this lens as much as you have that I'm not paying attention, in your words, to every little thing. Because El Mata, if one thing is sure and a second thing is certain, is that he can see things behind him and he can certainly smell the things in front of him. So as far as I'm concerned, gentlemen, the only thing that sways me here tonight is the video evidence that has been presented. The big question is, does Judge Mata have any credible reason to believe that the video presented here tonight was illegitimate? And gentlemen, I smell a rat. I smell a rat because it's one thing to AI somebody into an image, and it's another thing to fabricate their audio. But to do both to that level, this close to what could be the biggest match in Survivor Series history, well, that's a rata maybe a little bit too big for El Jefe himself to swallow. So in a few moments, I'm going to take just about a minute or two to deliberate, because I do take these decisions very, very seriously. I have to say that I'm disappointed that instead of talking about how you two men are going to put the show of the century on for the FWWC Universal, instead of telling us how you two are much better than Gabriel Arsen and Daniel Grimm, here we are discussing an assault. No different than Mills and Cairo. Here we go again, gentlemen. Instead of highlighting what an incredible event this is for the world's premier fantasy wrestling promotion, here we are arguing over petty bullshit. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not convinced that this is adding to the buildup, gentlemen. Because what people really want to see is what you're going to do inside that 20 by 20. All the talking, all the chit-chatting, all the backstabbing is only worth what you deliver when the lights are brightest. So thankfully, somebody decided to summon me to help mediate this thing, because the whole match could have fell apart. And that's not fair. That's not fair for the investors in the FWWC, all of our wonderful sponsors, including the Wrestle Talk podcast, the members who put time and energy week after week into making this group what it is. You gentlemen neither of you are on my good side right now, because you're jeopardizing what could be one of the most incredible matches of this winter. And that's not something I take too lightly. If one thing you guys know, and another thing you can count on for certain, like I said before, is that Mata cares about his main events almost above everything else. And you two have jeopardized that here tonight. So, unless either of you have any more evidence to present, I am going to go into deliberation. Savior Saint, do you have any further evidence?
My lawyer, Funky Flex, was having technical difficulties getting into the StreamYard app. I wonder why.
Okay.
I have screenshots I can send you.
Strong allegation. Continue.
Screenshots I can send you here shortly. That's the explanation of that. As far as else, I've said everything that I can. And hopefully the truth will set me free, and hopefully you side with the right side.
And Moby, do you have any further evidence that you'd like to present on your own behalf?
No, I mean, I don't think any evidence at all anywhere could change what's obvious here.
Okay. Well, hold on. Okay. All right. Interesting. Gentlemen, I'm going to take just a moment to deliberate. We will be back in no more than 2 minutes with the verdict of case number 006, Moby Lay versus the defendant, Savior Saint, our FWWC world champion. We'll be back in just a matter of moments. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here on FWWC Wrestler Court. In a matter of moments, I will be presenting my final verdict in the case between the challenger, Moby Lay, and the defendant, your FWWC heavyweight champion, Savior Saint. Gentlemen, I do want to notate that I take these decisions very, very seriously, because I think when people see these wrestling courts, it gives them an opportunity to see what's at the heart of what we do here. We've talked a lot about integrity. What we haven't talked about is transparency. A moment ago, I received a call that dropped off, so I am expecting a call back in just a matter of moments. I'm hearing that there could potentially be some additional information submitted to be considered before my final decision. But regardless of what that may be, I just want to say again to both of you, I am disappointed that we ended up here, but I'm also grateful for the opportunity to serve justice. I never, ever want to go out of bounds and hold people accountable for things that they didn't do. But truth be told, that's why El Jefe holds the big hammer, because he's got to do the things that others can't and won't do. On that, gentlemen, just a moment. I'll have to step away for a second. Talk amongst yourselves respectfully.
Regardless of how this ends, although I feel like we all know how it is going to end, only one thing's going to happen at Survivor Series, end of days. That championship's coming home to me.
No chance. The door's getting shut. Wee woo. You're getting taken to the hospital for real, boy.
I probably will go to the hospital, but I'm taking a heavyweight championship with me.
Hell no.
I don't care if I got to limp to the ring, as long as I got one good leg to knee you in the face.
If whoever hit you with that chair, one chair shot did this to you, you're about to be in the ring with me. There's no chance you're walking. Not after this bullshit.
Okay, gentlemen, to your corners, Enough with the threats. I heard everything. I heard every damn word. Okay, so we do have a video clip that will be revealed. I have not seen this, so we're going to all watch this here tonight in real time. Thank you to everybody who's tuning into Wrestling Court. Man, I really hate the circumstances, but it's an honor to be in front of you guys here tonight and be able to do this. So let's go ahead and play this clip and see if it's of any consequence.
Date.
When this is done.
Whoa. Okay, gentlemen, we couldn't hear any of your audio while that video was playing. Unbelievable. We just saw State Moby.
Was
don't
that the
test
right
me.
date?
Don't you overtalk me right now. This is not the moment, sir.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be in a lot worse shape than you are right now if you allow this to happen. Now, Saint, what were you saying while that video was playing in the background? I want to hear the exact same thing you said, same tone, same energy. Do not tone it down.
A bunch of curse words. It's some bullshit. You better hope these bailiffs, when this hammer comes down, I'm going to get you. And there'll be another court session. There'll be another court session. And another one. Talking about how I ain't represented as a champion. I'm a fighting champion. You're an AI artificial trash champion. That's why you have no belt.
Moby? What was that? What was that?
I will answer your question right now. At the beginning of this court case, I gave a thumbs up and swore an oath that I would be honest during this court case. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I may have milked the injury a little bit. I'm not going. I'm tired of wearing this. This too, because this. I mean, it's real. No, this is real.
What the hell is going on here?
No, look. Here's what happened for real.
You're making a mockery of this courtroom, sir.
No,
this is not funny under any circumstance.
I was actually attacked. Let's just say that right now. I was attacked. That part was true. And my thumb hurt for a couple days, and it did affect my match.
Unbelievable.
Did my arm get injured? No. Do I need a back brace? Not really. No. I phoned it in. I milked it a little bit, but I was attacked. He did break into my house, so that part was true. After that, you notice how in the court case I said I only talked about him attacking me. I didn't talk about my injuries afterwards because I swore an oath. So that's on that.
So what was all the rubbing of the neck and touching the elbow? What are you doing here? Does this look like a Hollywood set to you, sir? This is not a joke.
No, I get that. In my job, I'm supposed to make things.
With this guy?
I'm supposed to make things better, more entertaining, get more eyes on the product, and that's what I took my injury legitimate. But he actually attacked me, and I said, "What can I do to make this even bigger?" And first and foremost, he's a lot. I can admit
you need to stop that. Stop it. Stop patting yourself on the back right now.
I admit I phoned it in. But he actually attacked me.
I'm telling you,
he needs to stop lying. I'm sorry.
We gotta watch this just one more time. This is
sorry.
Unbelievable. Absolutely despicable, embarrassing, and disgusting behavior. Moby Lee, before I let Savior Saint berate you with everything that you deserve, let me just ask you this.
Yeah.
Why did you feel the need to bring El Mata into this? Why do you decide to drag me in? Why did you file suit knowing damn well that the whole thing was fabricated? Have you no respect for law and order, sir?
My actual claims were true. The further injuries were fabricated. So what I actually sued for is legitimate. It's the further injuries after that I did kind of know.
You're making a mockery of this establishment, Mr. Moby. I hope you realize that.
My
Every
fault.
other word you speak digs a deeper hole for yourself. Do you want to continue?
No, I'm
Savior
trying to
Saint, please grace us with some integrity and truth. Because you, sir, have been justified. I do declare.
I told you. You can't get me. The light bulb, the light, the ideas, the brainstorming. That's me. I've been miles ahead of that game. AI this, AI that. Although I don't use it, I keep track of it. Moby Lee, you ain't fooling nobody. You're bringing eyes, but you're bringing that Hollywood shit. Dwayne Johnson shit. You're an actor type shit. It's acting. What I do is real. That scar right there is real. What you got that's real. This title's real, and you ain't getting it. And you lost the last real one you had. Phony. Fake. You ain't taking my belt. If you take my belt, you taking my career, because I'll be damned if a piece of garbage acting fool takes my championship and deletes me. Takes my legacy. You're going to try to take something from me? You heard what El Jefe said. And all them charges against me, you were still going to take it. You were still going to take the easy way out. You have no heart, no passion. And you're just taking this just like you take it up the ass, boy, from Nathaniel Jones and take all that life.
Whoa, easy.
And this is part of my company that I help take higher and higher. And just like this episode, it's another level of going higher and higher. Victory and justice was served on your ass, and I'm going to do the part of the justice just like they did in the Stone Age this Saturday at End of Days, as it's your last.
May I please, before I'm sure I
talk
lost.
to me again.
May I please say two things real quick?
Please make it expeditious.
Real,
this is
real
ridiculous,
quick.
Moby.
I promise
You've wasted enough of everybody's time. And before you do, I want to make sure I say this very quickly. Keep your acting and your bullshit out of professional wrestling.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe
yeah.
Moby, I'm going to call you Maybe from now. Maybe Lay. Because every time you speak Maybe, I believe the shit that's coming out of your mouth. This is embarrassing, Maybe Lay. I cannot believe that you drug us all into this. Go ahead and give us your final thoughts. This is unbelievable.
First one, like I said, I swore oath, put my thumbs up. I admitted right away, as soon as you exposed me, the mystery person, I admitted right away that I milked it. So I don't understand why he can't admit, even after all that, even after he pretty much won, that he attacked me. Like, I don't understand why he still can't admit that. And the second thing I want to say, because we looked at that video of me doing my biceps. Let me bring in is.
Are you freaking serious?
Get this man off.
It's 18. It's 18 inches.
You know what? Time out. Okay, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. This man, amongst everything that he's already done here tonight, does everybody understand that he's still trying to pat himself on the back? He's still trying to show us his biceps. He's still trying to convince everybody that this was good for the program. And you know what? Maybe it was. But you know what it also was? It was a big waste of my freaking time. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and I've got a whole plate full of ratas to eat. I got fried ratas, baked ratas. We got ratas in tamales. We got ratas in the stew. We got ratas in the punch. You know that nothing makes me happier than destroying ratas. And even though this feels like a big waste of time, I feel like we exposed a big, fat, dirty rata. And I'm only going to say this, Moby Lee, because you like to brag about your job outside of this company. The next role you should play is the role at Ratatouille, you dirty, stinking rata. Saint, what do you got before we bring this joker back in for sentencing?
I'm going to be back in court again because the stuff I'm going to do to this man Saturday for what he's done to our business. So, Hefe, promise you that. I promise you that. I ain't stopping. They're going to pull me off when it's 1, 2, 3, or, can I announce the match?
Well, we'll get just to that in just a moment. We do have to bring him back in for this. So, Moby Lee, let me allow everyone to hear this formally. Ladies and gentlemen, a final decision has been made by yours truly. I am taking it out of the hands of the jury. This evening, the case brought by Moby Lay against defendant Saint is immediately dismissed without prejudice. And Moby, you're lucky that Savior Saint didn't have some sort of counterclaim against you for defamation of character, because I would have been happy to see that case right here and now. So before we allow defendant Saint to pick how he's going to handle you going in to FWWC Survivor Series, we will hear from you, but I will hear no more blasphemy, and more importantly, I will hear no more of you patting yourself on the back because you've embarrassed yourself here tonight, and I'm trying to do you a favor.
FWWC, I hope that you enjoyed this. You were entertained by this. At Survivor Series End of Days, when I go against Savior Saint, we'll put it all on the line. It'll be one person standing at the end of that match. I want everyone to tune in. Now, if you excuse me, I'm about to face something real bad. I'm going to take it on the chin. What you got? What we get? I'm ready. Oh.
Fucking bullshit! Fucking bullshit! Fucking bullshit!
I mean, I couldn't have said it better. Thank you, Shiki baby. Thank you. Now, stand there like a man and listen to the consequences of your actions. Savior Saint, for this moment and this moment only, you are bestowed the privilege of deciding the repercussions for Moby Lay. You could cancel the match altogether. I'm going to give you that power. I don't assume that that's the road you're going to go down, but you deserve it because you've been brought to litigation at your own expense, which, by the way, no matter what Saint decides, you are covering Savior Saint's attorney expenses. You're going to cover his per diem during this whole time, okay? And you're also going to apologize before we're done here tonight. Because there's one thing an egotistical person hates above everything else, and that's admitting that they were wrong. But before we get to that, Savior Saint, do your worst.
It's a classic short and sweet. I don't like to repeat myself over and over, so we're going to announce what the match is. You want to walk around acting with these injuries. I'm going to give you some injuries. There won't be no acting. I'm going to give you injuries, and there's not going to be no court, no sue. And what there's going to be is a quick trip to the hospital after I beat your ass at the end of days and you see your last here in the FWWC. The ambulance match. I'm going to shut them doors. Wee woo. You're going to the hospital to get doctored up. I'm going to break some bones. I'm going to break some teeth. I'm going to disfigure you. Be good for your next role. I see you dressing as Santa. You kind of look like The Weeknd. He does some stuff too. It'll give you a good reason to do some plastic surgery because I know you Hollywood fucks love that weird shit. It's creepy how you can just switch up. The apology is not going to mean shit. Look at this man. He's like he's innocent. He's like, what's going on with me? Well, this Saturday, I'm going to show you what's going on with you. I'm going to take my belt and I'm going to bust your ass with it like my Paul did me growing up to teach me some damn honor and respect.
So, Moby, this man is moving forward with the match, choosing not to take champion's advantage. What does that say to you?
First and foremost, I would like to apologize to Savior Saint. I would like to thank him for staying true to his word and giving me a championship match. Regardless of what happened and everything we've done during this court case, it is genuine, truly an honor to have a match against him. And I'm glad that he's bringing that fire back out. I'm not going to talk crap. I won't. Taking it on the chin. You want to do an ambulance match? Just like I came back from your attack, just like I came back from Gabriel Arcine attack, just like how I came back from a sledgehammer to the face from the CEO. Hope you get that back, by the way. It's real hard to take me down. So this ambulance match, only one of us is going to win that, and that's you. And I feel bad because you are someone that I genuinely look up to in this group.
All right, Moby Lay, we appreciate your thoughts. Gentlemen, that brings us to the full conclusion of case 006 of FWWC Wrestler Court. I will say just a couple of quick things. Big shout out to former champion here in the FWWC, El Diablo, for checking us out tonight. First row tickets already on the way. You already know what it is. Thank you for being here. Also, big shout out to a potentially returning superstar here in the FWWC, the one and only Robert. We'll see what happens going into the new year. Also want to thank everybody who participated, everybody who contributed, everybody who commented, hit that like button, hit that share button. Thank you guys not only for supporting the FWWC, but Wrestle Talk and the pro wrestling community, because what we do here is special. That's why we are the world's premier fantasy wrestling promotion. With that, gentlemen, you have your match for this Saturday, co-main eventing, and quite possibly a candidate for match of the year. I'm saying it now, even before it happens. Your champion, Señor Savior Saint, in an ambulance match, where only and only by putting your opponent in an ambulance and closing the door can you be named winner. No countouts, no rope breaks, no acting, no bullshit, Maybe Lay. Best of luck to both of you. This concludes this edition of FWWC Wrestler Court. Good night.
You're going down.
Sweet dreams. I'll see that ass Saturday.
Yeah, you ain't gonna do nothing in my butt. Let's just nip that in the butt right now. I don't know what he was talking about. Hollywood, he don't know.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Check out the Moby. My award shows coming out. And Moana too.
Moby sucks. He sucks so bad, and he's a liar, and his pants are on fire. His acting is pretty good, he almost got me. But Saturday I'm gonna turn him to a pile of meat when I send him to the hospital. I need Remy Ricks to bust a rap about me busting a cap on Moby Lee. I almost laughed a few times during that, but I held it together. Maybe Lee was the best thing of the show. Oh, maybe Lee, oh, maybe Lee, oh, maybe Lee. Oh, maybe Lee, oh, maybe Lee, oh, maybe Lee. Oh, maybe Lay. Maybe he'll get laid. Maybe Nightmare Jones will come over and give him some light. Up his butt, because he's a fruitcake. Moby Lee. Moby Lee, Moby Lee, Moby Lee. You're lucky this is live, or I would chill my butt right now. Moby Lee, Moby Lee, Moby Lee. Baby Lee, suck pee-pee.